Reflection Capsules by Father Jijo Manjackal MSFS. Abiding in the Lord to become His extension in the world. Michelangelo is perhaps one of the greatest artistic figures that the world has ever seen. As the famed artist was drawing towards the fading evening of his life, Michelangelo was entrusted with the task of creating a work of art. However, Michelangelo, sick as he was, declined to do the work himself and instead called upon his confidant, his closest disciple and follower, to do that work of art. The confidant, the disciple, however, felt himself too little before his illustrious master and refused. But Michelangelo kept insisting. Finally, the confidant agreed, but only upon one condition. He told him, "The task that you have entrusted to me is indeed humongous, but the trust you have placed on me is even more enormous. Therefore, I pray that you may permit me to place my hands on your hands, to place my feet on your feet, and to place my heart on your heart. To feel as you felt, to sense as you sensed, and thus to impress as you impressed." This disciple realized that his skills would be best adorned by the personal intimacy with his master. The confidant was sure that the closeness with his tutor would help him live up to the huge expectation of the task entrusted to him. Each of us are also invited to become an extension of the Lord in this world. This task is indeed humongous, but the trust placed on us by the Lord is still more enormous. Let's therefore abide in the Lord to become His extension in the world. Jesus says in the Gospel of St. John, chapter 15, verse 4 and 5, "Abide in me as I abide in you. Just as the branch cannot bear fruit unless it abides in the vine, neither can you unless you abide in me. I am the vine and you are the branches." We are presented with this loving invitation of Jesus our Master to have a deeper and an intense union with Him in order to realize His fruits in our life. The context of this gospel passage is the Last Supper of Jesus with His chosen ones, the disciples. The disciples had seen and witnessed the movements, the words, the deeds, and the feelings of Jesus, their Master. And when they came together for the last time at the Last Supper in the upper room, Jesus had performed one of the most astonishing deeds, washing their feet, a profound sign of humility, self-giving, self-sacrifice, and forgiving love. This extraordinary deed was followed by a challenging appeal by the Lord. "Do you know what I have done to you? If I then, your Lord and teacher, have washed your feet, you also ought to wash one another's feet." The Lord entrusted a mighty task on the disciples. Just as He had washed their feet, the disciples had to wash one another's feet. Just as He would lay down His life for the other, they too had to lay down their lives for one another. Just as He would become a sacrificial victim, they too had to give themselves in self-sacrifice to one another. It was indeed a great task, a humongous deed, an enormous ask. But the Lord, who expects much from us, does not leave us without empowering us. And so the Lord, through the discourses of the Last Supper, gives them the formula and solution for fulfilling this great task. Abide in me as I abide in you. The works entrusted by the Lord find its true meaning only by conforming to this condition and clause, abiding in Him. Unless we abide in the Lord, none of our works can find true meaning and success. Unless we abide in Him, none of our ministries or aspirations will be salvific. St. Paul had a deep encounter with the Lord, and that transformed him to offer his life in a passionate commitment to the Lord. As we read in the book of the Acts of the Apostles, chapter 9, verse 28, he was speaking boldly in the name of the Lord. St. John beautifully exhorts and reminds us in his first letter, "Little children, let us love, not in word or speech, but in truth and action. All who obey his commandments abide in him, and he abides in them." We need to inspect the depth of our lives. Am I seeking to be united to the Lord in my spiritual life? Are the ministries and the works that I engage in and the projects that I initiate shining with the glow of the Lord? Are the words that I say and the deeds that I do proceeding from my communion with the Lord? The Lord makes it mandatory for us to grow in union with Him. This is indeed a loving compulsion, an affectionate obligation. The Lord wants us, He desires us, and He longs for us. Shall we not grow then in union with Him, the passionately craving Savior of our souls, through the sacraments, especially with a deeper devotion to the Lord in the most holy Eucharist, through the reading, meditation, and practicing daily of His holy word in the Bible, through the compassionate acts of love to the needy and desperate around us, and through being open to the many other ways that the Spirit inspires us to love and serve Him more. The Lord expects all of us who profess to be His followers to bear fruits, and reminds and warns us, as in John 15:6, of the fiery judgment if we fail to live up to our call. May we therefore pray to the Lord that He may permit us to place our hands on His hands, to place our feet on His feet, and to place our heart on His heart. And only then can we feel as He felt, to sense as He sensed, and to impress as He impressed. Yes, abiding in the Lord, let us seek to become His extension in the world. May our good God bless all of us. Live Jesus.